You're watching another Rider Nation Station presentation brought to you by TSC and these following fine sponsors.
Well, a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and we welcome you once again to Grand Lake Health Systems Field for tonight's contest between the St. Marys Rough Riders and the Defiance Bulldogs. This is the last regular season game of the 2019 season. For the St. Marys Rough Riders, there's hopes that they will continue on next week as they will enter into the postseason play. And all speculation seems right now, and the things that we have heard throughout the week, that Trotwood Madison may be the destination or the team that they will play, but a lot of things can change between now and then. So we'll just have to keep our ears open and hear what they have to say and where St. Marys will go. But that seems to be where everybody's predicting the matchup will be. Joining me tonight, once again, he joined me in the first two broadcasts this year, and Jim Swider, is glad to have you along. And tonight's Parents' Night, big night for these seniors and these rest of these football players, because the seniors, of course, and we'll recognize them throughout the evening, this will be their last game here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field.
Yeah, and what a testimony for them to be in the first group of seniors here on the new field. And probably pretty emotional guys down there recognizing this is their last regular season home football game.
You know, and on the other side of the field, though, you think about it, for Defiance and their seniors, this is their last ball game. This is it. And I was told once by a coach of mine that you remember your very last game. That's the one that you will remember probably the most in your high school career, is the very last football game. It's an emotional game. It's a big ball game, and they want to go out on top, but the Defiance Bulldogs come in with a record of 2-6 in the Western Buckeye League. They're 2-7 overall. Of course, the Rough Riders come in 6-2 in the Western Buckeye League, 7-2 overall. So it's going to be it'll be a tough road for the Defiance Bulldogs tonight if they're going to come away with a victory.
Yes, they'll be overmatched, and we'll see that. But, like you said, Joe, these seniors playing their last game, they're going to let it all hang out, and we'll see what happens.
Well, if you look down on the field, if you're listening or if you're going to watch this later on the rebroadcast, the St. Marys Memorial All-Brass Marching Band will be in formation in tonight's Parents' Night, and of course I believe the parents will walk through the band, so I think that is what will happen shortly. You know, Jim, when you talk about the Western Buckeye League, here's what's going to happen before this is all said and done tonight. When the dust settles and the smoke clears, it'll be a two-way tie in the Western Buckeye League for co-champions, because here's the way it's going to shape up. Wapak, OG, Kenton, 7-1. Kenton plays Elida tonight. I think that's a no-brainer. Wapakoneta is on the road at OG tonight. So one of those teams will have their second league loss and will drop down with St. Marys at possibly 7-2. Well, it'll either be Wapak and Kenton or it will be OG and Kenton. That'll be the way it'll shape up when it's all said and done. Taking a look at some of the other games around the Western Buckeye League tonight, Shawnee's at Bath. Shawnee's at Bath. Salina's at Van Wert tonight. Kenton is at Elida, and of course Wapak is at OG. So we're just moments away from turning it over to the public address announcer as they will introduce the seniors, or the parents of the players, the cheerleaders. Anybody that's involved with the Rough Rider football program will be recognized tonight.
That's what I was just going to say. Looking back, what can you make of this?
Yeah. Well, the St. Mary's Memorial All Brass Marching Band is in formation. They will split at the 50, and they will now introduce the parents. So we'll turn it over to the public address announcer at this time.
Welcome to the 2019 Parents' Night. Number 1, Dylan Roby, son of Leanne Stoker and Stacy Roby and Megan Roby. Number 2, Kurt Bubb, son of Kimberly Emmerich and Kurt Bubb Sr. Number 3, Aiden Hinkle, son of Jessica and Eric Hinkle. Number 4, Lucas Walter, son of Cheryl and Tom Walter. Number 5, Kyle Cody, son of Nicole and Nate Cody. Number 6, Ethan Wedding, son of Amy Brewer and Chad Wedding. Number 7, Dylan Choglin, son of Amy and Jared Choglin. Number 8, Carson Fishbach, son of Jody and Sean Fishbach. Number 9, Gavin Reineke, son of Amy and Ron Reineke. Number 10, Trey Fisher, son of Justin Eigenbrod and Alyssa Eigenbrod. Number 11, Braden Himmelgarn, son of Gina and Mitch Himmelgarn. Number 12, Ty Howe, and number 35, Tanner Howe, son of Gail and Lonnie Howe. Number 13, Wyland McCollum, son of Angie and Shane McCollum. Number 16, Riley Metz, escorted by Dan and Kathy Metz. Number 17, Adam Turner, escorted by Carl and Frida Turner. Who is Aiden escorted by? Number 20, Ross Henshin, escorted by Tracy and Jay Henshin. Number 22, Aiden Engelbrod, escorted by Danielle Gerstner and Justin Eigenbrod. I messed up his name again. Number 23, Zach Hesse, escorted by Amy and John Hesse. Number 24, Eugene Farrell Jr., son of Christine and James Stevens. Number 26, Ty Slosser, escorted by Sherry and Scott Slosser. Number 27, Ethan Freewall, son of Christy and Jeremy Freewall. Number 29, Hunter Fraley, son of Amber and Maya Gamble. Number 36, Dylan Giesecke, son of Pierce and Brian Giesecke. I don't know what that name is. Number 39, Logan Meyer, son of Christy Sawmill. Number 42, Gavin Reekman, son of Aaron Reekman. Number 43, Brandon Paul, son of Elaine and Michael Paul. Number 44, Ryan Meyer, son of Lori and Kurt Meyer. Number 46, Nick Schwartz, son of Sue and Paul Schwartz. Number 48, Carter Liette, son of Shelley and Todd Liette. Number 50, Devin Shannon, son of Jennifer and Jay Shannon and Nikki Shannon. Number 51, Ryan Davis, son of Nazee and Haifa Davis. Number 52, Stash Patterson, son of Brady and Shane Patterson. Number 53, Keegan Sharp, and number 66, Caden Sharp, son of Nikki and Max Sharp. Number 54, Jace Norton, escorted by Ashley Wagner and Jamie Norton. Number 55, Chase Jacobs and Allison Jacobs, son and daughter of Chris and Kevin Jacobs.
He's like, well, we're having okay.
Number 56, Logan Allen, son of Peggy Allen, Lee Ziegler. Number 58, Dalton Walter, son of Jason Walter. Number 59, Trace Mabry, son of Janice and Travis Mabry. Number 60, Parker Miley, son of Tracy and Jason Miley. Number 62, Riley Swagger, son of Kim and Jeff Swagger. Number 65, Morgan Seaver, son of Kendra and Scott Seaver. Number 67, Zeke Quijano, son of Rachel Quijano. Number 68, Corey Sullivan, son of Angie and Joe Sullivan. Number 69, Jacob Helsel, son of Kara, Kittle, and Shane Helsel. Number 72, Logan Redby, son of Helen and Brian Redby. Number 76, Brian Ward, son of Kim Highcamp. Number 77, Hunter Foltz, son of Jody and Choice Foltz. Number 78, Logan Naus, son of Chet Naus. Number 79, Bobby Pretty, son of Lorraine and Jeff Pretty. Number 83, Brandon Bowers, son of Kelly and Brian Bowers. Number 84, Jason Byrne, son of Scott Byrne. Number 85, Austin Parks, son of Sherry Parks and Robert Stark. Number 86, Henry Spencer, son of Jennifer and Randy Spencer. Number 90, Number 89, Drew Danmeyer, son of Christine Danmeyer.
Just have the age split so they can walk easy.
Number 90, Austin Bryant, son of Mary Kay and Michael Bryant. Number 95, Brennan Headley, son of Stacy and Monty Headley.
Was there anything to count?
They usually we can see one triple year.
Number 97, Blake Kenora, son of Chris Dirksen and Travis Kenora. Number 99, Spencer Choglin, son of Nanette and Fred Choglin. Manager Hank Dicer, son of Shane and Andrea Dicer. Rebecca Dominguez, daughter of Diana Dominguez.
I swear to you. That's the number I had in my head.
Jenna Wilder, daughter of Sean and Jamae Wilder. Jenna Miller, daughter of Brian and Shanda Miller. Lily Olear, daughter of Vince and April Olear. Michaela House, daughter of Scott House and Laura Lenhart. Rami Casewell, daughter of Ryan and Emily Casewell. Kirsten Fowler, daughter of Mark and Becky Fowler. Audrey Root, daughter of Dan and Jenny Root. Ava Gottschalk, daughter of Craig and Kendra Gottschalk. Courtney May, daughter of Denny and Leanne May. Jalen Stein Atkins, daughter of Cody and Amber Brown. Megan Young, daughter of Joe Young and Kathy Schwartz. Mackenzie Ayers, daughter of Doug and Missy Ayers. Emma Hemlinger, daughter of Preston and Melanie Keith.
Last year, St. Mary's won 42-0. They ran
Seth Goodland, son of Sean and Valerie McCullough. What do I say now? I'm leaving it like that.
Well, that concludes Parents' Night here at Grand Lake Health System Field. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll quickly take a look at the Defiance Bulldogs and the St. Mary's Rough Riders, the matchups tonight, and we'll do that when we come back right after this. Even though the music on the patio has come to an end, Guarneri's would like to thank everyone for joining them on the patio on Friday nights. Though the music has ended, stop in and try their signature Big Ralph sub, pizza, or calzone. Guarneri's on Spring Street in St. Mary's. Give them a call at 419-394-2244. Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily. Open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, your job is made easy with Scott Ross Realty. Contact one of their hardworking, well-trained agents today at 419-305-4373 for all of your home buying and selling needs. Scott Ross Realty, wishing all Rough Rider sports good luck.
Staying true to our roots as Ohio football fans.
Alrighty, back at Grand Lake Health System Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert. And Jim, let's first of all take a look at the Defiance Bulldogs. They come in with a record of 2-7 overall, 2-6 in the Western Buckeye League. And when you look at them, as far as their offensive and defensive front, especially offense, the people that jump out to me are their tackles. Johnny Celabalos and Jose Fernandez, 231, 272. Those are some big boys.
There's some big boys, and the Riders' offensive line will be challenged right off the bat here, but might take a while before they learn how to get them out of the way.
Their offensive set is led by senior quarterback Aaron Cruz. He's the general on the field for the Defiance Bulldogs. Behind him at running back will be senior Jackson Ray. Now, they are senior loaded as far as the offensive side of the football is concerned. They'll start 8 seniors, no juniors, and 3 sophomores. Of course, one of the players that will start offensively is senior Caden Klein. Now, Caden is the son of head coach Kevin Klein, so that's got to be an emotional emotional thing going on between father and son on the field, very much like it was when Doug Fry coached Bo in his last game, and as Coach Fry coached Kobe. So there's a special bond there between father and son, and knowing this is the last game that they will probably, coach and play under each other. So very emotional for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, we touched on it earlier, Joe. Defiance being dominated by seniors on this team, and this being their last game, they're going to come out and put everything on the line.
For the St. Mary's Rough Riders, of course, they are led at quarterback by senior Kurt Bupp, and he's really come on as of late and has done exceptionally well. Of course, Kurt didn't get the starting nod until about the third or fourth game of the season, and then since then, the chemistry of this team has completely changed as from the beginning of the season.
Sure, and I remember that Walpole game where the offense started out okay, but then they stalled in the second half, and the next week going to OG, and then after that, the Rider offense has really gelled, and a lot of that is from the senior captain, Kurt Bupp.
Of course, up front, they'll start
for the passing of the colors.
Gavin Ward, Stash Patterson, Riley Swigert at center, Logan Allen, Devin Shannon, and Blake Knorr at tight end. In the backfield, it'll be Hunter Fraley, Ty Howell, Ethan Wedding, and the wide receiver will be Dylan Troglin. So right now they're asking this crowd here at Grand Lake Health System Field to stand for the passing of the colors. While they do that, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more right after this.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Right now, the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band will play the national anthem. While they do that, we'll listen as they do. National anthem being played by the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We're glad to have you along on Rider Nation Station. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert as we bring you all the play-by-play action of St. Mary's Foundry is a global leader in manufacturing complex iron castings. Our skilled workforce takes pride in producing the highest quality iron castings, weighing up to 60,000 pounds. St. Mary's Foundry wants to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all our local teams, wishing them a safe and extraordinary season. And speaking of great teams, St. Mary's Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Mary's Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet. The Rough Riders and
It's
the
game
Defiance
time.
Bowl.
Let's hear it for our St. Mary's Memorial Rough Riders!
We want to remind you I don't have any hearing left. Do you?
Hey, in case you didn't know, it's game time.
Mercy. But you can watch tonight's replay of the St. Mary's Defiance game on Monday on TSC on channel 702 and 13.1. They'll begin at 10 a.m. on Monday. For the St. Mary's Rough Riders, they won the toss. They elected to take the football, and I'll tell you what, that's probably a smart move because this return duo of Ty Howe and Dylan Troglin is pretty amazing because they've given the Rough Riders excellent field position throughout the course of the season. But we did notice last week that Salina did not kick deep to them. They kicked it short. They probably kicked it to about the St. Mary's 35, 40-yard line and let the up receivers do it of Carson Fishbach. I know he returned one to my recollection, but the Rough Riders will receive the football to start the contest.
These hand warmers were passed out to fans entering the gate tonight. The Gate Buster program is brought to you by the Evening Leaders and the Memorial High School.
This kickoff return is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Lori Yelton. Be a legend. Ensure your life. For the St. Mary's Rough Riders, they will be in their home blue jerseys with gold numerals, gold pants with blue and white trim, gold helmets. The Defiance Bulldogs will be in their traveling white uniforms with blue numerals, white helmets, and blue. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
Auglaze Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or AuglaizeEquipmentRental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaze Equipment Rental.
Trim along the pants. Kicking off for the Defiance Bulldogs. Will be number 4, Jacob Hutchinson, I believe, will do the kicking. Yep, so Hutchinson will do the kicking for the Defiance Bulldogs. Also back for the Rough Riders, standing at about the 10-yard line, is Braden Hemmelgarn. Waiting for the officials to signal this ball game, and we'll get this one underway. The season finale between the Rough Riders and the Defiance Bulldogs, and they kick it short. And it's picked up by Ethan Wedding, I believe. Carson Fishbach picks up the football and brings it back to the Rough Rider 33-yard line. So again, the Defiance Bulldogs said, we're not kicking it deep to that trio back there. And so the Rough Riders again will have the football in excellent field position to start this football game.
Yeah, you talked about it before the kickoff, Joe. You're picking your poison. You're going to kick it to the duo back there that can give you good returns, or kick it short, and the Riders will have short or a good field position.
Ty Howe breaks loose on the left side. We got a flag on the play. He's to the Defiance 30, the 25. He's going to be brought down at the Defiance 15. But we've got a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold against the St. Mary's Rough Riders. So excellent run to start the ball game is going to be called back. You can see on our replay, Ty Howe brought down.
Close to horsepower.
Pretty close.
Hold against St. Mary's.
So the holding penalty will move the football back, and St. Mary's will have the football first down and 20.
10 yards assessed against the Rough Riders will remain first down.
Tough break for the Riders on that opening play. Sweep around the left side and get called for a holding.
Last week, the first 2 series that the Rough Riders ran against the Salina Bulldogs were all between tackle to tackle. And that set up a play later on, which opened up the offense to run that sweep. Kurt Bupp hands the ball off up the middle, and it's Aiden Hinkle with a nice pickup on his first carry of the ball game. We'll give him a gain of 8 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 12 for the Rough Riders.
2nd down and 12.
Good run on 1st down, gaining 8 yards, making this 2nd down play in this series manageable.
Keep in mind up front, the Defiance Bulldogs has some big people up front, especially on the right side at defensive end. Johnny Celabalos is 271 pounds as Hal gets the handoff, and he'll shake and bake to about the 41-yard line for St. Mary's.
Brought down by number 54, Alex Holt.
So we'll call it 3rd down and 7 for St. Mary's. 10:39 remaining on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. No score here from Grand Lake Health System Field. Kurt Bupp under center. He's going to throw the football. And he's looking for the screen. He pulls it down. He's scrambling, and he pitches it out to Aiden Hinkle. Nice play by Kurt Bupp as he was able to find Hinkle wide open. And he'll take the ball to the 45-yard line, where it'll be 4th down, and we'll call it about 3.
Yeah, there you go. See the experience from Kurt Bupp. Not throwing that ball immediately, or that ball would have been picked off.
Brandon Bowers will be in to do the punting. Back to receive the kickoff is the punt will be Drew Kellemeyer. Kind of off the side of his foot. It'll hit at about the 23-yard line, gets a Defiance bounce, and is pounced on by the Rough Riders. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Defiance Bulldogs.
It's the final week, and Derek and the Donut Factory are giving away 5.
Aaron Cruz will be your quarterback. Lining up behind him will be Jackson Ray.
5 different boxes. Help support after prom and buy donuts at the game.
The Defiance Bulldogs will run a 2 wingback set and a wide receiver tight end formation. Going wide to the right is Caden Klein. Cruz in the gun. Man in motion to the right. Gets the ball. He's going to roll to the right. Pass out to Cameron McDonald.
Cameron McDonald. 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
I think the pass was incomplete. We'll see here on the instant replay.
Yeah, it was. He didn't hold that one in. Defiance coming out, wanting to throw the ball on 1st down and have a 2nd and 10.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Defiance Bulldogs at their own 27-yard line. Here comes the sweep, and stopped right there by number 59 for the Rough Riders is Trace Mabry. The ball carrier for Defiance was Cameron McDonald.
Yeah, just blasting through the offensive line of Defiance. Trace Mabry gets in there. Tackle for a loss.
So we'll call it 3rd down and 13 for Defiance at their own 24-yard line. Look for Defiance to put this one in the air. Cruz in the shotgun. Straight drop back. He is being pressured. Gets it out. Pass is intended to number 11, Caden Klein, but it goes over his head, falls incomplete, and this will be 4th down for the Defiance Bulldogs, and that will bring in punter Jose Fernandez.
Both teams going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Fernandez will do the punting. And keep in mind, Fernandez is the offensive tackle at 272. Almost blocked by Trey Fisher. Fair catch called by Ty Howe. And the Rough Riders will have the football again in good field position as they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Well, good series for the Rider defense, guarding the pass on a couple plays. Come up big, give their offense some good field position here.
Not too often you see your offensive tackle doing the punting, is it?
No, and I don't know if we'll be seeing any fake punts around either end, but
Carson Fishbach wide to the left. Buff under center. He'll give the football. No, he'll keep the ball's loose on the field. And the fumble, Defiance says they recovered the football, and the officials agree. So the fumble by the Rough Riders gives the ball to the Defiance Bulldogs at the 8:35 mark. So the Rough Riders turn the football over. It'll be first down and 10 for Defiance at the St. Mary's 46-yard line. Cruz in the shotgun. Caden Klein wide to the right, man in motion. Stands up, it'll go to Klein. Klein to the 45, to the 43-yard line. Clock will continue to run, even though he was pushed out of bounds, but clock continues to run. 8:22 remaining here in the first quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. No score here at Grand Lake Health System Field.
yeah, good pursuit by the Rider defense, closing that screen pass, closing in a hurry.
So we'll give him a gain of 3 on the play. It's second down and 7. And it's Jackson Ray up the right side. And he'll be close to a first down. So we'll call it third down and 2 for Defiance. The ball setting at the St. Mary's 38-yard line.
Another money down, Joe.
Absolutely.
Third and 2.
Simeon Sweeney for Defiance brings in the play from head coach Kevin Klein. Caden Klein talks to his quarterback. Cruz sends Klein in motion. He'll drop back. Here comes the Rough Riders. And they bring him down. Good play there by Trace Mabry and also Trey Fisher.
Trace Mabry.
So to bring up fourth down.
Fourth down and 5 for the Bulldogs.
4th and 5 for Defiance.
Looks like the Riders' defensive line confused him. Play there, and Mabry came free.
And we'll see if the Defiance Bulldogs, I don't think they're going to punt this one. I think they're going to go for this one. So we'll call it 4th down and 5 to go at the St. Mary's 41-yard line. Cruz in the gun. And he's looking to throw the football, and it's overthrown, but caught. It's caught by number 17, Cameron Rivera, as the ball was tipped by Caden Klein. Went over 2 St. Mary's defenders, and we'll see that on the replay, and right into the hands of Cameron Rivera. Boom.
Wow, the Riders were chasing the quarterback. They had the receivers guarded. Quarterback threw off his back foot and completed the pass.
Good concentration by the Defiance receiver, Rivera. And here comes Jackson Ray off the left side. We've got a late flag trailing the play. So he picks up a gain of about 8, and we'll see what the penalty's all about. Defiance is moving backwards. We've got a hold on Defiance, so that'll negate a good play by Jackson Ray. 5:59 remaining. No score on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard.
Penalty marked off. Presents first down.
Rivera will go in the slot to the right. Klein will go just to his right. Man in motion. Quick pitch to Ray. The ball's on the ground, and Ray is going to be tackled from behind for a big loss by Trey Fisher.
Brought down by number 10, Trey Fisher.
37.
Second and 24, Joe.
Well, you can put a small ranch on this plot of land.
Bulldogs facing second down and 24.
Second down and a long 24.
I have not heard of that one before.
You've never heard that one?
3 and 11's over here. One is firing behind him.
Cruz in the gun. He'll drop back, take a couple of steps. He's looking for a receiver deep, and the Rough Rider defense is on him. He eludes a couple of them and then throws it to a receiver, and it's caught by number 9, Cameron McDonald.
Carson Fishbach with the coverage for the Rough Riders.
Rough Riders again had him pinned behind the line of scrimmage and in every opportunity to sack him, but he was able to keep the play alive.
Absolutely, Carson Cruz, athletic, kept the play alive when it looked like the Rider defense, a host of players ready for the sack.
Caden Klein will relay the play to Aaron Cruz, the senior quarterback. And we've got a timeout on the field call by the Defiance Bulldogs with the score 0-0 with 4:17 remaining on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come right back right after this.
Varsity Lanes, home of the Rough Riders 2018-19 Boys and Girls State Bowling Champions. Striking up delicious food, 32 taps, Queen of Hearts, and nightly food and drink specials with a great family atmosphere. Carry-out is available. Stop in and see us after the game. Go Riders!
Back to action here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Defiance against St. Mary's here, and Defiance has the football at the Rough Rider 27-yard line. Cruz over the middle, pass to Klein, touchdown.
Cruz's pass completed to number 11, Caden Klein, for a touchdown.
So Defiance Bulldogs draws first blood as Klein gets behind the Rough Rider defense, and nice pass by Cruz. And the Defiance Bulldogs lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard by a score of 6-0 with the point after touchdown coming. Caden Klein to hold. Jacob Hutchinson will do the point after. Here's the snap. And it's blocked. So the point after touchdown is no good. The point after was blocked by Ty Howell. And so with the score, the St. Mary's Rough Riders nothing, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. With 4:11 remaining here in the first quarter, we'll take this break. We'll come right back right after this.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
This kickoff return is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend, ensure your life. Ty Howell, Braden Helmelgarn, and Dylan Trogla back to receive this kick, and it's a squib kick. And it's one of the up men, number 13. Man, what a hit put on by the Defiance Bulldogs, but I think it was more of Wyland McCollum putting a shoulder down and making the defender. Boy, he smacked him.
You'll get those collisions on kickoffs.
That seems to be the consensus, that they're not kicking to the deep people of the Rough Riders. Salina didn't do it last week, and the first two kickoffs for Defiance, they haven't done it. Kurt Bupp under center. He'll give it to Ty Howell, sweep to the left. He's got blockers out in front, and he'll be brought down at the...
Well, let's see if the Rider offense could get on track. Last possession, they fumbled the football. Defiance went down, and Cruz, quarterback, threw a beautiful ball. See if they can't get on track and get control of this game.
We'll give him a gain of 5 on the play. We'll call it second down and 5. The ball will be at the Rough Rider 40-yard line. Kurt Bupp under center. Turn, give the ball to Aiden Hinkle, and he's pretty well stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but we'll give him a gain of about 1 on the play.
Immediately hits the line of scrimmage by a host of Bulldog defenders. Gets a couple, third down and 3.
Brought down by Jaden Cepeda and Zach Parrish of the Defiance Bulldogs. So we'll call it third down and a long 3 for the St. Mary's Rough Rider. Clock continues to run. 3:02 remaining here in the first quarter. Defiance leads 6-0 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Howe sweeps to the left, and he'll have the first down. He's run out of bounds.
Out of ball carrier, dragged down out of bounds by
Number 3,
Cameron McDonald.
or number 9, I'm sorry, Cameron McDonald runs him out of bounds. So it'll be first down for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. As Jim mentioned, let's see if the Rough Riders can bounce back after that fumble on their last possession.
Yeah, that was about the fourth sweep here to the left, running Howe to the left side here in this quarter.
Carson Fishbach to the left, and there goes Ethan Wedding wide right on the sweep. And he'll get the first down as he picks up about 12 on the play.
He's moving the chains for the Rough Riders. First down and 10. Wedding brought down by number 58, Zach Parrish.
I mentioned this last week against Salina. We saw a lot of Rough Rider sweeps to the short side of the field. One of the things that takes place when that happens is that there's one less player over there that you have to block on the short side of the field.
Yeah, when you look at the Defiance defense, they really are putting a lot of people in the box trying to stop those dives and traps, and so that sweep's going to be there.
Henkel on the last play picks up about 1 on the play. We'll call it second down and 9. The ball sitting at the Defiance 42-yard line. Carson Fishbach wide to the left. He'll turn. Sweep with Ty Howe to the left. He's got a hole.
Block.
He's got one man to beat, and then he was run out of bounds by Klein.
Brought out of bounds by number 11, Caden Klein.
Good defensive play by Caden Klein.
First down, Rough Rider.
Running the sweep to the left. Offensive line doing a good job blocking, the backs and receivers blocking.
Wing to the right, give the ball to Henkel, and Henkel will pick up good yardage as he crosses the 20-yard line. And we'll give him a gain of about 9 on the play.
Big gain of 9.
We'll call it second down and 1.
Second down and 2 from the Bulldog 20
Well, the Rough Riders in the red zone right now, Jim, and we'll see what they can do. Howell, wing to the left, turn, give the ball to Henkel, I believe, again.
That's enough for the first down.
So we'll give him a first down.
Once again, good enough to move the chains. First down, Rough Rider.
And it'll be first and 10 for the Rough Riders at the Defiance 15-yard line. 1:15 remaining. Riders turn. Here comes Howell. Sweep to the left. And he almost broke it. Good saving tackle by number 62, Mason Beauprez. I'll tell you what, if he doesn't grab him by the ankle, I think he's got 6.
Yes.
House run good for 6 yards. Second down and 4.
We'll give him a gain of 6 on the play. We'll call it second down and 4 at the 9-yard line of Defiance. 45 seconds remaining. Full house backfield behind Kurt Bupp. He'll turn. He'll give the ball to Henkel, and he'll dive forward off the left side. And we'll give him a gain of a couple on the play. It'll be third down, and we'll call it a short 1 for St. Mary's.
Riders doing what they do, Joe. Power football.
Power football. The football will be resting at the Defiance 6-yard line. 15 seconds remaining in the quarter. Aiden Hinkle with the carry.
Hinkle, the ball carrier.
Depends on where they're going to stop the clock with 9.1 to check and see if he's got the first down.
From the far
It's
official,
going to be close.
Looks like where they spot, I think he has it.
Well,
first down, St. Mary.
It will be a first down, and that's going to be the last play of the first quarter here at Grand Lake Health System Field with a score. The Defiance Bulldogs 6, the St. Mary's Rough Riders nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back after we hear from our big Ralph Ryder replays. Brought to you by Guarneri's Pizzeria, home of the big Ralph
Defiance 6, St. Mary's 0.
Sub, pizza, and calzone. Also, you can come and try their thirst-quenching Rider Egg before, during, and after the game. It's Marys. Give them a call at 419-394-2244. We hope you enjoy this edition of our Big Ralph Rider Replay.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but into my bag of tricks it says to go to the double reverse in a situation like this. Brookfield is really pursuing the ball, and you can look for the double reverse at any time. Anytime. All right, we'll see what happens. Here they come. Cisco is in the slot on the right-hand side. Bobby Pruitt calling the signal. Pruitt turns. Here it is. Cisco's got it. He's got room. He breaks it outside. He won't go down. He's forcing down and out of bounds inside the 15 down to about the 12. They ran the reverse right there. And Cisco gets it down, but it's going to be third down and 3.
Bobby Pruitt, Jeff Cisco. I'll tell you what. Bobby Pruitt, I thought, was back in the day, was just was a phenomenal quarterback. I thought, as the Rough Riders give the ball to Ty Howe, he'll sweep to the left, he'll shake and bake, and he makes it to the end zone. It's a touchdown, Rough Riders.
It appears we have a flag on the field, Joe.
Well, this is a ways away.
Could it be a sideline warning?
This looks like it's going to be a sideline warning, doesn't it? So the touchdown will count. The Rough Riders get a sideline warning. So the touchdown by Ty Howe makes the score St. Mary's 6, Defiance 6 with the point after coming.
Ty Howe with the touchdown run.
Kurt Bupp will hold.
Bupp to hold.
Bowers will do the point after touchdown. There's the snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And the St. Mary's Rough Riders take the lead with 11:54 remaining here in the first half. Again, the St. Mary's Rough Riders 7, the Defiance Bulldogs 6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come right back right after this.
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
This kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend, ensure your life. Brandon Bowers will do the kicking off for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Back for the Defiance Bulldogs is number 6, Drew Kellemeyer. And I'm not really sure who the other deep back is. Bowers approaches the football, kicks it, and it'll go right to Drew Kellemeyer. Kellemeyer to the 20, to the 25. He's going to bring it all the way to the left side of the field, and he's going to be run out of bounds by the Rough Riders. Braden Hemmelgarn, I believe, was in on the stop, and Trey Fisher, I believe, was also in on the play. So the Defiance Bulldogs will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Well, it was a great drive by the Rider offense coming out after they turned that ball over. Defiance capitalized, scored a touchdown, and in the first play of the second quarter, the Riders put 6 on the board. Very important drive, and we'll see how that plays out here.
Caden Klein on the run for the Defiance Bulldogs. He's pushed out of bounds. The clock will continue to run. We'll give him a gain of about 2 on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 8 for Defiance.
2nd down and 8.
Caden Klein, pretty big boy, 6'4", 187-pound senior. Aaron Cruz, he'll give the ball to Kellemeyer. And we got a flag on the play. And
it looked like there was movement on the right side of the.
Because it's been every 3rd play.
Drew Kellemeyer was the ball carrier for the Defiance Bulldogs, and he picked up enough for the 1st down, but there's a flag on the play. What's that, Jim? Or he takes his fists and pumps them together. What's that mean?
Hold on a second. I'll let you know. We're getting out the officials.
Well, nonetheless, it's a 10-yard penalty. That'll bring up 2nd down and 21 for Defiance at the ball placed at the 19-yard line of Defiance.
That was an illegal blindside block.
Okay. Cruz looking deep. He's got 2 receivers down, and he overthrows everybody. Kellemeyer and Klein were the intended receivers. I think we talked about that with Coach Fry on Wednesday, but I think we were off camera when we talked about the block and the.
Yeah, that's really a point of emphasis over the last couple of years. They're, in all levels of football, they're wanting that play out. It used to be back in the day, you'd be on Sports Center if you threw a block like that. Today, you'll get 15 yards.
The ball carrier is Cameron McDonald for the Defiance Bulldogs, and he'll pick up about 5 yards on the play.
Getting back to that blindside block, Joe, it's taken some years at all levels, but I commend the high school coaches for teaching their kids, and it's taken some years to lay off those blocks when you have a defenseless player. And
it'll be 4th down and long for Defiance. Jose Fernandez will be in to punt the football. Back is Troglin and Ty Howe. Low snap, and we've got a flag on the play.
Penalty on the play.
And it's going to be a penalty on the Rough Riders. So I think they're going to march off 5, but I don't think it's going to be nearly close enough for a 1st down. And I'll bring up 4th down and 9, and Jose Fernandez will again be the punter. Now, we mentioned earlier that Fernandez is the offensive tackle at 272 pounds and just a sophomore. There's the snap, almost over his head. Kick is away, and it's going to take a hop to Ty Howell over his head. And he touched it, and he's back and falls on it at the 5-yard line.
Howell falls on the 6-yard line, where the Rough Riders will take over 1st down.
So you'll see on the replay that the ball bounced. Howell reached up, touched it with his hand, got a good Defiance roll. Howell falls on it wisely at the 5-yard line instead of trying to pick it up, where he could have possibly lost control of it again, and Defiance could have recovered with excellent field position, but that didn't happen. So very smart play by the Rough Rider senior. Full house backfield. Here comes Wedding. Wedding, we'll give him a couple.
Brought down by Cameron McDonald.
We'll call it 2nd down and 9 for St. Mary's as the ball is at the Rough Rider 9-yard line. 9:21 remaining here in the 1st half.
Defiance defense ready for that sweep on 1st down. Deep in Rider's own territory.
Full house backfield behind Kurt Bupp. He'll turn and give it to Aiden Hinkle, and Hinkle fighting as much as he can. He'll give him a gain of about 2 on the play. So we'll call it 3rd down and about 6. We'll make it 7. So brings up a possible passing situation for the Rough Riders, as a ball will be placed at the St. Mary's 9-yard line. Fishbach wide to the right. We got whistles on the play. Timeout, St. Mary's. So with the score on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, the St. Mary's Rough Riders 7, the Defiance Bulldogs 6, with 8:30 remaining here in the 1st half. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this.
Here to help make life go right is your local Good Neighbor State Farm agent, Laura Yelton, with 30 years experience. Visit Laura and her team located in downtown St. Mary's for your auto, home, banking, and life insurance needs. Be a legend. Insure your life.
Already back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert on Rider Nation Station. Glad to have you along. the season finale for the Rough Riders and the Defiance Bulldogs as Ty Howell breaks containment, and he had one man to beat
Ty Howell, the ball carrier,
as he picked up good yardage on a sweep to the left.
Moves the chains for Rough Rider, first down.
And the Rough Riders will have the ball first and 10.
Parents Organization would like to thank Jeremy and Christy Freewald.
Now, Joe, when you said a possible passing situation, did you believe there was any chance Coach Fry was going to call pass play on that?
Nope. Nope. Aiden Hinkle up the middle. Well, I'll tell you what, the Rough Riders, that dive and trap play, boy, over the last couple of weeks, it's just really tough going in between tackle to tackle.
Well, I think, certainly last week and this week, you're having 7, 8 guys in the box. And, of course, in Rider Nation, that really doesn't mean anything. They're to block them. But when you get more guys up in that box, then you got guys blocking. And that's why we're seeing this sweep so successful tonight. And I think right now the Rider offense has a good balance going inside, outside. Don't be shocked if they do throw a pass here before too long to catch Defiance sleeping.
Well, we saw that last week against Salina. As I mentioned, the first 2 series was totally ran from tackle to tackle for 2 series. And then all of a sudden, I think it opened up the pass play because that was when Kurt Buck hit Ty Howell for a 31-yard touchdown pass, because I think everybody was kind of bunched in, and then brought the linebackers up and brought the D-backs up, and then the next thing you know, with the speed of Howell, he got behind the defenders and a perfectly thrown pass by Kurt Buck. But here with 7:54 remaining in the first half, 7-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Rough Riders lead. It'll be second down and 9, and the ball will be placed at the Rough Rider 29-yard line.
I got to throw.
Here's the chains are now healthy.
Pitch to Aiden Howe. He's going to sweep right, and we'll give him just about 2 on the play.
Yeah, it looked like he had a big hole there. One man to beat, perhaps, tackling by his feet. Looked like he's going to gain a lot more yards than what he did.
So we'll call it third down and about 6 on the play. Ball is at the St. Mary's 33-yard line. Kurt Buck brings the play in. Riley Swigert over the football. Buck turn. He'll give the ball to Wedding. And Wedding will be close to a first down.
They're going to give it to him,
They're going to give it to him. So it'll be a first down for the Rough Riders. Good run off the right side by Ethan Wedding. Good blocking on the right side. Logan Allen, Devin Shannon, Blake Knorr. Good job at the point of attack for St. Mary's. Clock continues to run. We're at 6:47 here in the first half. Ethan Freewalt will go wide to the right. Howell in the wing to the right. Buck turn. He'll give the ball to Wedding. Wedding's got blockers out front. Don't block him behind the back. Wedding will cut back. He's still moving, and he's close to the 50-yard line. He's got a first down. But I saw Ty Howell block a guy in the back, and I thought, oh, mercy. But maybe we'll see it here on the replay.
At the 51-yard line.
Well, I think
he had his hands on his back, but really didn't block him. What a great effort there, Ethan Wedding, fighting for 2 more yards to get that first down to keep this drive alive for the Riders.
Hinkle. Right back up the middle, and he'll get good yardage on this particular play, and they'll give him a gain of about 5 on the play. Ball just crossing the Defiance 45-yard line. So we'll call it second down and 4. Wedding across the 40. And he'll pick up a first down for St. Mary's. Rough Riders are starting to go a little bit wider.
Yes, they are. And once again, Wedding just showing great patience, following his blocking, letting the blocks happen, and then getting his yards. Showing great patience running the ball.
So another first down for the Rough Riders. 5:30 remaining here in the first half. Kurt Bupp is going to go back to pass. He's got Howell all by himself. Howell catches it. Touchdown!
Oh, wow.
What a catch by Ty Howell. He lost it, reached back with one hand and pulled it in, and we've got 6 for the Rough Riders.
A little dramatics.
And I'll tell you what,
Make it 6 more points for St. Mary's.
What a beautiful throw.
And I'll tell you what, he was all alone. It's very similar to what they did Salina, the exact same play, and they lulled him to sleep, so to speak, and he catches it at about the 5-yard line, loses it, and pulls it back in for the Rough Rider score.
Yeah, you certainly had the feel that was coming.
Brandon Bowers with the point after out of the hold of Kurt Bupp. The kick is up. The kick is good. And with 5:20 remaining here in the first half, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 14, the Defiance Bulldogs 6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take this break. We'll come back with the Rough Rider kickoff right after this.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
This kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Lori Yelton. Be a legend, ensure your life. Brandon Bowers will kick it off. Drew Kellemeyer is one of the deep backs for the Defiance Bulldogs. Kellemeyer will have it at about the 11. He'll cross the 20 to the 25, and he is brought down by number 36 for the St. Mary's Rough Riders.
Dylan Giesecke?
Yes, it is. Good job by Dylan.
Brought down by number 36, Dylan Giesecke.
Well, once again, the Rider offense going on a long drive. Offensive line doing a great job. Backs doing their job, and then they come up with a pass play. Beautiful throw to Mr. Howe. Riders lead 14-6.
Jackson Ray lines up behind Aaron Cruz. Quick pass goes over to Kellemeyer. Kellemeyer to the 29-yard line. Clock continues to run. Good defense there by Trey Fisher. And it'll bring up second down. It'll bring up second down. And the reason I said third is because I saw Trey Fisher do the money down thing, and I think he's
money every down. He's thinking money, big play every down.
Absolutely. Cruz will roll to his right, pass over the middle. It's picked off. Picked off by Ty Howell. Howell to the 30.
Nice
We got a flag down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Ty Howell. But we've got a flag down on the field, and I believe this one's going to come back.
Perhaps an illegal block on the interception. Nevertheless, great anticipation by Tyler Howe. Block in the back, sure was.
Block in the back. Well, you know, usually that's the play that springs them for a touchdown, is the penalty play right there.
Well, when you got it's chaos on those types of plays, interception, they're changing direction, and you get excited. Your team's made a play, and you just want to throw a block. And
well, right now we'll see if the Rough Riders will want to score.
Hats off to the referee making a good call, seeing it right in front of him, threw his flag.
Well, there has been times when the Rough Riders have shot themselves in the foot. And that was one of them. So the Rough Riders will have the ball, 1st and 10 at the Defiance 43-yard line. Bupp will give the ball to Ross Henson. Henson to the 30, runs into his own blocker and gets it down to the 25-yard line. So good job by Ross Henson, who's in at fullback right now. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Rough Riders, the Defiance 25-yard line.
Steve Shannon, your Eagles card is at the Rider.
He got some fresh legs in there, and he popped that out, didn't he, Joe?
Steve Shannon.
Hunter Fraley in the ball game at fullback for the Rough Riders. Split backfield behind Kurt Bupp. Ty Howell on the wing to the right. Turn, going to give the ball to Wedding. Wedding to the 20, and he'll spin. And he is proudly brought down. I'll give the forward progress to about the
His forward progress
18-yard line.
18-yard line. Second down and 3 for the Rough Riders.
So it'll bring up second down and 3 after a 7-yard run by Ethan Wedding. Carson Fishbach will go wide to the left. Blake Knorr in the tight end to the right. Henson
Big
right
hole,
up the middle
big
for the
hole.
5. Touchdown, Ross Henson.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, and just like that, boom, Ross Henson is through the hole and in the end zone.
Yeah, he's quick from that fullback position. I want to give a shout out to number 62, Joe, the center.
Oh, absolutely.
But just happens to be my nephew, through an excellent block to spring that.
Absolutely.
For Mr. Henson to score that touchdown.
So the Ross Henson touchdown gives the Rough Riders a 20-6 lead with 3:11 remaining. Brandon Bowers will attempt the point after. The kick is up. The kick is good. So with 3:11 remaining here in the first half on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 21, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
Brandon Bowers again will do the kicking for the St. Mary's Rough Riders. Drew Kellemeyer will be back for the Defiance Bulldogs.
Number 6, Drew Kellemeyer, 22, Zach Luce to return for the Bulldogs.
Zach Luce is also back there for Defiance. Bowers. Kick taken by Kellemeyer at about the 23-yard line. Taking it to the right, breaks a couple of tackles, and the Rough Riders finally bring him down at the Defiance 37-yard line.
Stash Patterson with the tackle.
And on the tackle, Stash Patterson, Ross Henson in there, Trey Fisher as well. All in on special teams coverage. Carson Fishbach as well. 2:59 remaining here in the first half.
After getting off to a slow start, the Riders have put up 21 points in the second quarter to take a 21-6 lead.
Aaron Cruz, the quarterback for Defiance. He just missed the handoff on that one and then got what he could get, which is a good job by the senior quarterback. Whenever that particular situation happens and you miss the handoff, you basically follow the hole where it's supposed to be. Because your linemen are still doing their job. You just have to follow up in there even though you missed the handoff to your running back.
Yeah, if you don't, you're going to get hit hard.
Yes, you are. Well, we'll give him a gain of 2 on the play when it was all said and done. It brings up second down and 8 at the Defiance 39-yard line. Cruz will give the ball to 9. That's Cameron McDonald. And he'll have enough, I believe, for the first down, or he'll be pretty close to the first down. And he's going to be a little bit short.
Nice little misdirection play for the Defiance Bulldogs, making it 3rd and short.
So it'll be 3rd down and a short one to go for the Defiance Bulldogs.
Yin down. No, yin down.
Cruz. Oh, mercy. Good job. I believe that was Blake Knorr.
In a big way.
Yes.
Stuff short. Not even close. It's going to bring up a 4th and 2.
That's a loss of about a yard on the play.
Immediately brought down by Blake Knorr. 4th down and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs will
Jose Fernandez
punt the football. Jose Fernandez will be back. Troglin and Howe will be back. They'll be standing at their own 19-yard line.
He's going to throw it.
He's going to throw it. We got a timeout called. Timeout called by defendants. You know, they may run him.
I would love to see it.
I'm sure you do.
When he does kick, when he does receive the ball and he punts it, he seems to be athletic. So,
well, obviously he is, or he wouldn't be in that position.
Exactly, like you mentioned before, 270-pound sophomore.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to mention the seniors for the Rough Riders tonight that are playing their final game for the Rough Riders, the last regular season game, and that will be Dylan Roby, Kurt Bupp, Lucas Walder, Carson Fischbach, Trey Fisher, Ty Howell, Riley Metz, Zach Hesse, Ty Schlosser, Ethan Freewalt, Jace Norton, Logan Allen, Riley Swigert, Zeke Quajano, Henry Spencer, and Blake Canor. I tell you, they've given these Rough Rider fans a lot to root for through the course of this season. So Fernandez back to punt. Howell and Troglin back at their own 19-yard line. There's the snap, and there's the punt, and he just basically punts it to the parking lot. That is where that one was headed. I think Coach Klein said, here's the deal. Kick it nowhere near those two guys standing at the 9-yard line. So he basically turned around, squared up to the stadium on the far side of the seats, and kicked it out of bounds. That's pretty much how it went.
Yes, he did. He was not going to keep that ball on the field of play at all.
Absolutely not.
Well, the Riders have 55.7 seconds to maybe add to their score, or Coach Fry just might take a knee.
I think they're going to try to add a little bit.
I would think so.
You think?
Maybe get into a 2-minute offense and let senior quarterback Kurt Bupp throw the ball a little bit here. Or they could run a counter. Or sweep.
Here comes Troglin, and we got a flag on the play. Troglin to the 40, and he's going to be run out of bounds at about the 44-yard line, but we got a flag on the play, and this is probably going to come back.
Holding against St. Mary's.
So good run by Dylan Troglin. First time he's carried the ball on the evening. 47 seconds remaining here in the first half. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert. Glad to have you along on Rider Nation Station, wherever you might be. If you get an opportunity on your phone or on your computer, in the comment section, just kind of make a comment as to where you're listening to us from. Well, when the Spencers were in Connecticut, we got Connecticut. We also had somebody listening in Tennessee as well. Ooh. There goes Henson. Henson to the 50, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30. I'll tell you what, I was completely faked out because I thought that they were stopped for a loss. Nice run by Henson.
Nice run. Once again, you're getting fine blocking up front from the Riders' offensive line and receivers.
I thought for sure that they were stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and the next thing you know, I look up 20 yards downfield. Here comes Henson busted through the line. Gives the Rough Riders football at the Defiance 31-yard line. The Rough Riders have called timeout. We'll keep it right here. 21-6, St. Mary's lead. 24 seconds remaining in the first half on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. And head coach Doug Fry is walking to the huddle, folks. I don't think I've seen this all year, where he has actually walked to the offensive huddle. So maybe they got something up their sleeve.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Joe. Perhaps Coach Fry has something up his sleeve. He likes these plays at the end of the first half.
Oh, the other week he did one of them lonesome polecat things. Well, I think the team called timeout, and then they went back to a regular set after the timeout. But nonetheless, Ethan Freewalt wide to the left, Howell wing to the right. But he's going to roll. He's looking for Troglin down the right sideline. Troglin gets back, and his pass is knocked down.
Good defense by Defiance.
Incomplete, intended receiver, number 7,
Good defense there by Cameron McDonald for the Defiance Bulldogs, but he got behind him, and he just needed to go for the ball at its highest point, and it was just good defense.
4 seconds to go in the half. Can you kick a
Bowers is loosening up on the sideline, possibly attempting a field goal before the first half closes. Bupp under center. He'll turn. He'll roll to his right. Looking for Fishbach. Got him. Nice throw. Nice catch.
Nice throw by Kurt Bupp, rolling to his right. Had to thread the needle in there as the defensive back for Defiance, closing the gap, and he put it right there where it had to be.
Good route by Carson Fishbach. Goes down
Absolutely.
10 yards and just squares his shoulders to the sideline. Good throw by Bupp. Put it where only Fishbach could catch it. So we've got 9.9 seconds remaining. 21-6, Rough Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders at the Defiance 20-yard line. Howell wide to the right, Fishbach wide to the left. Kurt Bupp drops straight, throws it up to Fishbach, and touchdown Riders. What a catch by Carson Fishbach.
What a wonderful play for the Riders. Quarterback Kurt Bupp throwing a dime.
That is just a perfect play. Nice catch, good concentration, good defense by the Defiance defender, but good concentration by Carson Fishbach.
You can't defend that, Joe. When the ball's thrown that well, the receiver goes up and catching that in stride.
Bowers' point after is up, and it is good. So with 3.6 seconds remaining here in the first half, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28 and Defiance 6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back for the final 3.6 right after this.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
All righty, this kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life.
Well, the Riders traveled the length of the field, like 85 yards, I believe, on that drive, Joe.
Absolutely.
Set up by the 50-yard run by running back Henson.
Brandon Bowers.
Spencer Troglin to kick off.
Well, there we go. We got a new kicker for the Rough Riders. Spencer Troglin. And he'll kick a line drive. It'll be fallen on by an up back with no time moving off the clock.
Kick, fall on the clock by Francisco Hernandez. 3.6 left on the clock in this first half.
3.6 seconds remaining here in the first half. Rough Riders lead 28-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. So I believe we have time for one more play, barring any penalty.
And the Riders are definitely in a prevent defensive formation.
Yes, they are. Oh, the ball's loose on the field. And that should be the end of the half. Fumble on the play, recovered by Defiance, but that's the end of the first half with the score on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. It's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. We'll be back with our halftime program right after this.
Even though the music on the patio has come to an end, Guarneri's would like to thank everyone for joining them on the patio on Friday nights. Though the music has ended, stop in and try their signature Big Ralph sub, pizza, or calzone. Guarneri's on Spring Street in St. Mary's. Give them a call at 419-394-2244.
Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily, open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock. Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, your job is made easy with Scott Ross Realty. Contact one of their hardworking, well-trained agents today at 305-4373 for all of your home buying and selling needs. Scott Ross Realty, wishing all Rough Rider sports good luck.
Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert, where the Rough Riders lead at halftime, 28-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Reluctantly joining me here at halftime is Mark Huber. Of course, Mark runs the clock for the Rough Riders here at the home games. So, Mark, it took a while for the offense to get rolling here in the first half, but once they got rolling, and it seemed like everything started to fall into place.
Yeah, it took a little bit to get things going. The offensive line finally got churning. Games like this, we've talked about it before, how it's kind of sometimes hard to get that motivation and things right. And, Coach Fries does a great job of, getting the kids prepared. And I think, a little waking up, on the sideline.
Well, we saw a couple of plays in the first half where the Rough Riders basically almost shot themselves in the foot. We saw Ty Howell with a good return down here, and a penalty brought it back. And then we also saw him score when there was a block in the back that brought that one back. So,
frustrating things.
It is.
For a coach. Very frustrating. You see those things, mental mistakes. But, if you're going to have those, this is probably a good game that you're going to have those. But he'll clean those up as we go into, hopefully, looks like we're going to go into the postseason and go to week 11.
Well, I guess what would frustrate you as a coach is that this is week 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is week 10. That shouldn't be happening.
No, but, sometimes, 18, 17, 16-year-old kids act like 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. So,
yeah, I get what you're saying. Defensively for the Rough Riders, I know that Defiance put a score on the board with a nice pass. They just beat the defense and scored. But for the most part, the Rough Rider defense putting a lot of pressure on Cruz at quarterback.
Yeah, the defensive line is really fired up. Great pressure on them. A couple, the touchdown I think was on that turnover that we had. Does that sound right, if I remember right? And, just it happens. And, they'll respond. They'll clean it up if anything needs to be done at halftime here.
We'll see how the game transgresses here in the second half, and if the Riders were able to pull away a little bit from the Defiance Bulldogs. I think if you do, you're going to see a lot of these seniors get an opportunity to see some more playing time tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great night, senior night, and there is no guarantee for next week that we're going to be hosting. So this could very well be their last the game, here. So, yeah, I agree. We might see some more seniors, and I'll be honest, Ross Henchen as a back is really impressive, and I'll be honest, he reminds me of some backs that we had back in the early 90s. Not big, good speed, and just tough.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of a Chet Nouse.
Absolutely. I was going to give Chet the props on that.
Any credit, but yeah, he reminds me of Chet Nouse.
And Mike Compton as well.
Mike Hinkle was another one.
Yep.
He could just boom. Next thing you know, he's 15 yards down the field.
Or even a Scott Slosher, for that matter.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I honestly swear that I thought for sure that they had the running back for a loss, and the next thing you know, I look up and he's 45 yards downfield, and boom, and busted off a good yard.
I was the same way. Absolutely. I did. I was trying to figure out why everybody was running, and then, yeah.
I get it. Well, we're going to let you go. We appreciate you stopping by. Maybe if you don't get out of here at the end of the game, we'll talk to you again.
All right, we'll see you.
We know how much you love this.
Yes.
All righty, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Jim's got statistics in the first half. We'll do that and more right after this. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643. Rough Riders lead at halftime, 28-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. And here to take a look at some of the numbers in the first half. Once again, here's Jim.
All right, let's first of all look at the team numbers. For St. Mary's, they have 16 first downs tonight to Defiance's 2. Total yards, St. Mary's leads 304 total yards, Defiance 68 total yards. Looking at a few numbers for St. Mary's, first of all, for senior quarterback Kurt Bupp. He threw the ball 5 times, completed 4 for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing the football tonight in the first half for the Riders, freshman Aiden Hinkle, 11 rushes, 42 yards. Ty Howes carried the ball 7 times, 58 yards with 1 touchdown. Ethan Wedding, 6 rushes for 41 yards. And get this, Joe. Ross Henshins carried the ball 3 times for 90 yards. Longest run he had was a 54-yarder. He's also scored 1 touchdown.
She plays trumpet, clarinet, bass clarinet, and is section leader and field commander. After high school, Annie plans to attend Bowling Green State University and major in music education and Spanish.
To look at the receiving numbers for the Riders in the first half, Carson Fishback, 2 catches, 1 touchdown, and that touchdown came at the end of the second quarter. A beautiful thrown ball by Kurt Bupp on the left end zone, left side of the end zone for a touchdown at the end of the first half. Ty Howes also caught 1 39-yarder for a touchdown. Aiden Hinkles caught 1 for 4 yards. For Defiance, they've thrown the ball 9 times, completing 5 for 59 yards and 1 touchdown. So overall, we're seeing Riders, again, total yards, 304 total yards to 68 total yards for Defiance. Need to see Kurt Bupp, the senior quarterback, having some success throwing the football. We got to remind our viewers, just because St. Mary's doesn't throw doesn't mean they can't throw.
Absolutely.
I can remember officiating this senior class a couple championship games as they were playing in the midget leagues, and I can remember Kurt Bupp throwing the football a number. He threw the football more in the midget leagues than he does at the varsity level. But that just complements just what a fine athlete he is. So the Riders definitely 5 times tonight, completing 4 with 2 touchdowns.
You know, you mentioned just briefly about Kurt Bupp, and I have said this once or twice before, that I think the chemistry of this ball club is completely different with Kurt Bupp at quarterback. I think, in all honesty, excuse me, if we get an opportunity to play Wapak, I think that outcome could be different.
Yeah, that would be a tremendous matchup to see Wapak and St. Mary's play once again. At that time, Kurt Bupp was not the starting quarterback, played receiver, but you're right, Joe, since he's come into the lineup, just probably providing some leadership, and then being able to throw the ball, being able to direct the offense, being a leader out there in the field, certainly has the offense running like a fine oiled machine right now. And hats off to everybody on that offensive line, including the wide receivers, doing a good job blocking tonight, opening them holes up on those sweeps, and everybody playing their part.
Well, one of the things we have to remind ourselves, and Coach Fry has said this a couple of times during the Doug Fry show, is that Kurt Bupp had an injury to his arm all summer long, so he really wasn't able to throw a lot, and really didn't start feeling comfortable throwing the football until about the 3rd week of the season. So, but I think with his leadership, I think that the Rough Riders have moved, and of course you got to give hats off to, like you said, all these seniors that are being played tonight, their last game. So, hats off to not only on the offensive side of the field, but on the defensive side of the field as well. And hopefully, after tonight's all said and done, the Riders will move on and get some action in the postseason next week. Where and when, we don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, and hats off also to the coaching staff. They had a team that was coming off great success these last couple of years. Some of the best teams St. Mary's has had. And then you have this team trying to, continue that on, trying to find their place. It took a few weeks. The schedule, those first few games of the year in the WBL, pretty tough. You face Walpock on the road, OG on the road. You come out of that, and they really started rolling. But for the coach to hold things together, all the coaches doing a great job.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more as our halftime show continues from Grand Lake Health Systems Field with a score: the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28, the Defiance Bulldogs 6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll be back right after this.
If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
All righty, back at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Joe Hurlbut alongside Jim Swigert. St. Mary's leads on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard 28-6. We are at halftime, and right now they're introducing the senior band members of the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band. By any chance, any scores?
Yeah, just dialed it up. Perfect timing, Joe. Throughout the Western Buckeye League, we had the Kenton Wildcats leading the Elida Bulldogs 35-0. Shawnee's up 13-6 at halftime over the Bath Wildcats. And Van Wert leads Salina 27-7 at the half. And the game that we're all looking to in OG and in Ottawa, you have Walpock Redskins 7 and Ottawa Glandorf Titans 0 in the third quarter. So that game's living up to the billing that people have looked at. And when you're playing for WBL championship and you have two great coaches, two great teams, great schools that have been at the top of the WBL, many times, not surprised to see that probably a slugfest in Ottawa tonight.
And the OG Titans, of course, they're not out of this ball game by any stretch of the imagination, even though they are 7 points behind the Wapakoneta Redskins and have yet to put a point on the board.
Her favorite band memory is Mr. French doing karaoke on the bus to San Antonio. Vivian Kathleen Walker is escorted tonight by her parents Angie and Robert.
I think last week,
she plays trumpet.
Jim, I think when Kenton and OG played, I believe. Yeah, Kenton and OG played. It was a very similar situation. OG had Kenton down much of the ball game and came back and won that one. But that one's definitely not over. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll pass that score along to you as we get updates from time to time.
And major in nursing and begin her journey to become a pediatric nurse.
And like you said, Joe, last week, Ken scored 14 fourth-quarter points to pull that game out.
And senior year band camp with just tons of memories. There are too many memories to narrow down just to one.
Well, the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band has concluded their honoring of their senior band members.
Mellophone and piano, and is the field commander. After high school, Brooke plans to attend Rhodes State and Findlay University to major in physical therapy. Her favorite band memory
right now, the St. Mary's Memorial All-Brass Marching Band getting in position to play the alma mater. Let's give that a listen.
Please stand and join the band members as they perform the Memorial High School alma mater, conducted by Senior Field Commander Amy Burnett and Brooke Gill.
band performing the alma mater on senior night here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and have some final thoughts before the start of the second half. It's 28-6 on the St. Marys Foundry scoreboard. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert. We're glad to have you along. We'll take this quick break. We'll come back with more right after this.
St. Marys Foundry is a global leader in manufacturing complex iron castings. Our skilled workforce takes pride in producing the highest quality iron castings, weighing up to 60,000 pounds. St. Marys Foundry wants to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all our local teams, wishing them a safe and extraordinary season. And speaking of great teams, St. Marys Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Marys Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet.
Back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert. 28-6 Riders on top on the St. Marys Foundry scoreboard. Neither team has made their way to the playing surface for the second half. But Jim, we talked a little bit a minute ago about Ross Henshin and the effect that he had of moving this football into Defiance territory in the first half. You said he was 3 carries, 90 yards, and I'm not a mathematician, but I can figure that averages out to about 30 yards per carry.
Yep, very good. You passed, Joe. Yeah, he came in and just gave him a little change of pace, I think, and he got through that hole quick, and line, again, doing a great job, and he had a lot of daylight to run on each of his carries.
Absolutely. Now, Aiden Hinkle, Hunter Fraley, big kids, just flat-out big kids, give you a lot of muscle in pushing the ball forward, but Ross Henshin is pretty quick.
Yeah, he's pretty quick, and, you know, for much of that first and second quarter, Defiance had a lot of guys in the box. St. Mary's running a lot of sweeps, going to the left, going to the right, and then, they're, like you mentioned, Joe, most of that first half, not getting a lot of yards running up the middle, but just a change of pace, came in and gave them a huge lift, especially in the second quarter when they were backed up. We didn't know if Coach Fry would, with less than a minute to go 85 yards, but they popped out of there, and sure enough, they score.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a minute right here to thank all of our sponsors throughout the season that has been with us and who have made our broadcast possible. And if you get an opportunity, stop by these fine folks and just say, hey, thanks for sponsoring Rider Nation Station Rough Rider football throughout the 2019 season. And these sponsors, I'm sure, will be with us as we move on down to postseason play. But some of our game sponsors is Albert Sporting Goods, All Glaze Equipment Rental, Dave Weilbacher, attorney at law, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the FCA, Guarneri's Pizzeria, Unique Awards and Signs, Varsity Lanes, Vogel's Bake Shop. Those are our game sponsors. And if you happen to catch the Doug Fry Show on Thursday evenings, that is being sponsored by Glass Derringer Investment Management, Scott Ross Realty, Vogel's Bake Shop. The Rules of the Game is being sponsored by Guarneri's Pizzeria, who also sponsors the Big Ralph Rider Replay. And our exclusive sponsors who have been with us throughout the year, the St. Marys Foundry, who sponsors our scoreboard, Hewer Renovating, who sponsors our halftime show, and Lori Yelton, your State Farm insurance agent, sponsors the kickoff and kickoff returns. So stop by and thank these fine folks because, like I said, without them, we wouldn't be able to bring this to you, and we're glad you have enjoyed, and we hope you have enjoyed our broadcast and telecast and rebroadcast of the Rough Rider game throughout the course of the season. Of course, this is the inaugural season for Rider Nation Station, and of course we brought you 5 games that was rebroadcast. We brought you 1 game with the audio only, and hopefully next year we will move forward and maybe, hopefully, if all things work out, be able to bring you all 10 games next year. So we hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make that comment in the comment section on your computer or your iPhone or whatever the case may be. And again, we encourage you to do this. And it doesn't cost you a dime. Because when I tell you to subscribe to something, what does that tell you?
How much does it cost?
Exactly. This does not cost you anything. All you have to do is go to YouTube or on Facebook, like us on Facebook. Go to YouTube, type in Rider Nation Station in the search. It'll come up Rider Nation Station. Then you can follow all the broadcasts, and rebroadcasts will be there. Just subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and then what that will do is that each time the Rider Nation Station brings you something in conjunction with Rough Rider football, whether it be rules of the game, the Doug Fry Show, or the actual broadcast, you'll get a notification on your iPhone or on your computer that you can then go ahead and listen to us. So we hope you do that. Subscribe to Rider Nation Station. Well, the captains are meeting at midfield. The Rough Riders have concluded their warm-ups. Defiance still working on theirs. Go ahead.
I just want to pass along an updated score. It looks like Ottawa Glandorf has scored a touchdown, making the score 7-6. Of course, we don't know what's going on with the extra point. Did they make it? Did they miss it? But right now the score is 7-6 Walpock in the third quarter.
And keep in mind, the winner of that contest will be crowned co-champions of the Western Buckeye League with the Kenton Wildcats, who are leading the Elida Bulldogs 35-0. So I'm pretty sure that game will wrap up here pretty soon because there's going to be a running clock for them down at Elida.
If you are Stacy Glass and Mike Egbert. Stacy Glass and Mike Egbert, you are the winners of the
We're about a minute and 10 seconds away from the kickoff of the second half. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the second half kickoff right after this.
If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
Auglaze Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglazeenquipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaze Equipment Rental.
Again, we want to remind you that you can watch the replay of tonight's ball game on TSC channel 702 and 13.1. It'll be starting to air on Monday at around 10 a.m. if you want to watch the rebroadcast. This kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Lori Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life. Back to receive the kickoff is Drew Kellemeyer for the Defiance Bulldogs. Kellemeyer is going to get it at the 10. He's to the 15 to the 20 to the right side. He'll be run out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders, or excuse me, for the Defiance Bulldogs at the 30-yard line.
Correction, 30-yard line.
So Aaron Cruz will be your quarterback. Jackson Ray will be the running back. Your two wing backs, Caden Klein, Cameron McDonald for the Defiance Bulldogs, man in motion. We'll give the ball Mercy. Well, nice play, nice pitch. And it'll go to Caden Klein. Boy, good triple option for the Defiance Bulldogs. I thought, first of all, he handed it to the fullback and was stopped right there. Then he pitched, and good run by Caden Klein.
I confess, Joe, I thought number 13 for the Riders, Wyland McCollum.
I did.
He had him stopped.
That's what I did.
And I was looking down to get the name. They're pitching the ball.
Exactly. We'll call it second down and a short one for Defiance. Give the ball right up the middle to Jackson Ray. He'll get the first down and more. And we'll give him a gain of about 5. We'll call it 1st and 10 at the Defiance 44-yard line.
It's the Defiance opening drive 2 plays, they have a first down.
Yep.
Their opening drive, the third quarter.
3's over there.
Wide to the right for Defiance is Simeon Sweeney.
1's in the backfield.
Also out to the right is Cameron McDonald. Ray behind Cruz. Cruz has it, and he is brought down by McCollum, this time guaranteed.
Yes, he made sure he got the guy with the ball this time.
By number 13, Wyland McCollum.
Good job by Wyland McCollum, starting the second half on the defense for the Rough Riders. It'll be a loss of 1. We'll call it second down and 11 for Defiance. The ball is at their own 43-yard line.
Well, the guy was actually standing back.
Second down and 11 for the Bulldogs. 2 receivers to the
Cruz in the gun. That's a fumble. Oh, geesh. I didn't see the flag. I thought that is a lateral. But we got a flag on the play.
It's going to be
offsides against St. Mary's.
Oh. So they'll march off 5 against the Rough Riders for
5 yards.
offsides.
Second down and 6 for the Bulldogs.
We'll call it second down and 6 for Elida. Ball is moved to the 48-yard line of Defiance. 10:24 remaining here in the third quarter. Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert, Rider Nation Station. Cruz has Ray behind him. Klein goes in to talk to Cruz. We've got a timeout. No, we got a flag. We'll see if they got timeout. They do. They called timeout before the play clock expired. So the Bulldogs got the timeout. So with a score, with 10:04 remaining here in the third quarter, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this.
Varsity Lanes, home of the Rough Riders 2018-19 Boys and Girls State Bowling Champions. Striking up delicious food, 32 taps, Queen of Hearts, and nightly food and drink specials with a great family atmosphere. Carry out is available. Stop in and see us after the game. Go Riders!
On West Spring Street in St. Mary's. Back to action, Jackson Ray on the carry for the Defiance Bulldogs. He'll get a gain of about 3 on the play. Brought down there by Brandon Paul and Lucas Walter. It'll bring up third down and 3 for Defiance. The ball is now in Rough Rider territory at the Rider 49-yard line.
Another third down for the Rider defense.
Simeon Sweeney wide to the right. Klein in the slot to the right. Here comes the Rough Rider defense. And they've got a lot of pressure on him, and he gets the ball away. And nice catch by Klein, but it's going to be a loss of about 5 on the play. Well, the Rough Riders brought everything but the kitchen sink and got to Cruz, but was able to get the pass away to Klein. Well, here comes a host of Rough Riders. Brandon Paul, Walter, Tanner, and Ty Howell pushing him out of bounds eventually.
Yeah, we have a flag down, and it is going to be a personal foul.
Huh. Personal foul against the St. Mary's Rough Riders, so this will give the Defiance Bulldogs first down. Boy, and a big turnaround here.
Yeah, of course, we have the luxury of instant replay and just a late hit out of bounds. Giving Defiance a first down.
Yep, Ty Howell gives him a little shove about 4 yards out of bounds. So
9.
Carry by number 9 for Defiance. That's Cameron McDonald, and he picks up good yardage for Defiance.
Yeah, Defiance coming out here in the second half, running some misdirections, running some plays they didn't run the first half. Like you said, Joe, the triple option.
We'll call it second down and 6. We'll give McDonald a gain of 4 on the play. Clock continues to run. 8:44 remaining here in the third quarter. 28-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Sweeney and Klein will go wide to the left. Also coming out is McDonald. Cruz, he's going to roll to his left. He's being pressured by the Rough Riders, and they got him there. Blake Canor, Lucas Walder, Trey Fisher.
Canor with the sack.
And also Wyland
It was a lot of them, Joe.
Yes, they were. Wyland McCollum in on the tackle as well. So this is the money down for the Rough Riders, which means that this is a big play.
Bulldogs are faced with 3rd down and 15.
Because a lot of times you'll see that, and when you watch the rebroadcast, you'll see a lot of sometimes the defensive players do the money thing. But it's a money down, which means that this is a big play. Trey Fisher, and they throw it back. Oh, mercy. That was almost picked off by Lucas Walder. And if he would have caught that, he could have walked to the end zone. And I think him and Wyland McCollum, I think, just got kind of tangled up in this whole thing. No, McCollum just kind of was right there. But, yep, I think Lucas tried to run before he caught the football.
Yeah, I think his eyes probably enlarged.
Got real big.
He got real big. And
Jose Fernandez in to do the punting for the Rough Riders. Troglin and Howell back at their own 10-yard line. Here's the snap, here's the kick, and it'll go to, they're going to let it drop, and it'll roll dead inside the 10-yard line at about the 9-yard line for the Rough Riders. Good punt by Jose Fernandez, just a sophomore, but keep in mind, 271 pounds. So the Rough Riders will go 90 yards if they want to put another one in the end zone. 7:24 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We'll check and see who the Rough Riders put in at fullback. It's Henson. Henson's in at fullback. We've got a man in motion. We'll give the ball to Henson. He's up the middle. He'll to the 20-yard line. He'll pick up good yardage and give the Rough Riders first down.
Well, Joe, he gained 10 yards, but his average went down 5 yards per carry. I give him 100 yards on 4 carries on the evening.
25 yards a carry, not a bad average, is it?
What is it?
4 carries, 101 yards.
4 carries, 101 yards for Ross Henson. And here comes Troglin on the sweep. Stiff arms the Defiance player, cuts back in and picks up good yardage. We'll give him a gain of about 6 on the play.
Boy, it sure looked like they had him in the backfield.
Yep.
Coming on the jet sweep around the right end.
And he did one of those classic stiff arms. Yeah. And then picks up good yardage. Second down for the Rough Riders. We'll call it 2nd down and 3 at the 27-yard line of St. Mary's. Clock continues to roll. 6:20 remaining here in the 3rd quarter on our St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. First down for the Rough Riders. We'll check and see who the ball carrier is.
Brought down by number 40,
Aiden Hinkle.
Romero Pearson.
Aiden Hinkle on the carry, so the Rough Riders have a first down. I was just checking. I saw number 1 in the lineup for the Rough Riders. That was Dylan Roby. He was split out wide to the right on the last play. Now he's going to go wide to the left. Troglin will be in the slot to the left. Aiden Hinkle behind Kurt Bupp. Troglin in motion, counter back with to Howell, and the ball's loose on the field. And we'll have to wait and see what will happen. They say the Rough Riders.
2nd down.
Yep, 2nd down for the Rough Riders. So here again, another miscue by the Rough Riders.
Recovered by St. Mary's.
Just once again a trouble on the exchange, and
with the fumble, lost 1, 2nd down and 11 from the 33.
So we'll call it second down and 11. We'll call it a loss on the play of 1. Aiden Hinkle, the fullback, behind Kurt Bupp. Bupp calls the signals. He'll roll to his right. And it's an out and up. And it's going to Fishbach, and he's going to cut back
nice
in
catch.
and makes a nice play. Tackled by Klein, but not before the Rough Riders move the football down to the Defiance 34-yard line. So nice catch.
Rough Riders will take over in Bulldog territory. First down.
Good camera work there by our crew. But that's basically a
Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612.
an out and up.
Yeah, an out and up. They ran the out in the first half where Buck threaded the needle to Fishback. This time he did the out and up. They complete the pass for a big gain.
Fishbach wide to the right. Howell in motion to the left. Counter back, it goes to Wedding, and he's going to go nowhere. Good job by the Defiance defense. And on the tackle was Zach Parrish. And also number 62.
Maybe Lance and Larry Parrish.
62 is Mason Beauprez. So it's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Rough Riders will have it second down and 12 at the Defiance 36-yard line. Bupp, he'll go back to pass. He's got Blake Knorr in the middle, and he's going to be swamped and thrown for a loss.
For a big loss.
By number 40, Ramiro Pearson. He was the first to get to Kurt Bupp. And here we go. This is going to be third down in a bunch. 23. Not as much as it was, what was it, 3rd and 24 for Defiance earlier. So this will obviously bring up a passing situation, but we'll see if Ross Henson has been inserted at fullback. Nope, Aiden Hinkle will be your fullback. Carson Fishbach wide to the right. It'll be a pitch to Wedding. Wedding to the right, and he'll get to the 40-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds. So we'll give him a gain of about 7 on the play. And we'll call a 4th down and 16 for the Rough Riders at the Defiance 40-yard line. And here comes Brandon Bowers in to do the punting for the Rough Riders.
83, Brandon Bowers to punt.
Drew Kellemeyer will go back deep for the Bulldogs. He'll stand at the 5-yard line. We got a timeout on the field called by the Defiance Bulldogs. So with 2:24 remaining here in the third quarter, the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28, the Defiance Bulldogs 6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come back right after this.
Here to help make life go right is your local Good Neighbor State Farm agent, Laura Yelton, with 30 years experience. Visit Laura and her team located in downtown St. Mary's for your auto, home, banking, and life insurance needs. Be a legend. Insure your life.
28-6, Rough Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. 4th down and 16 for the Rough Riders. They will punt the football as Kellermeyer will go back and stand at the 5-yard line. Low snap, kick is off. Nice punt by Bowers. And it's going to hit and get a Rough Rider roll, and it will be downed by Freewalt at about the 11-yard line, I believe.
Down at the 11-yard line.
Nice punt.
Absolutely.
The food critics have reviewed the donut burger. It's gone so well that they've now created a brand new donut brat. So hurry up and rush over and get your donut brat on sale now.
Donut brat, Joe.
I'm on it.
Text somebody, see if they'll bring us one.
A donut brat. The ball carrier is Kellemeyer for the Defiance Bulldogs, and he's going to be thrown for a loss, I believe, of about 1 or no gain. Yeah, they'll call it no gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Defiance Bulldogs at their own 11-yard line.
Big series for the Rider defense. You got them backed up inside their own 20 after the nice punt. 2nd and long.
Cruz calls the signals, drops straight back, looking for a receiver. Throws it deep over the middle to Kellemeyer, and it's incomplete.
Cruz's pass intended for Kellemeyer.
Intended pass, like I said, was intended for Drew Kellemeyer. And I think he might have heard some footsteps.
I believe so. You know, they scored on that play in the first half, going the other way in the first quarter.
I didn't see him.
But well defended by the St. Mary's defense.
This update in Western Buckeye League play now in the 4th quarter is the Wapakoneta Redskins 7, the OG Titans 6. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Defiance at their own 12-yard line. Cruz will roll to the left, looks for a receiver. He's got Klein at the 27-yard line. So it'll be enough for a Defiance 1st down. Clock stop, move the chains, new set of downs.
Rolling to his left, Aaron Cruz throws a nice ball here to get this 1st down.
Bulldogs 1st down and 10 from the 26.
First and 10 for Defiance at their own 26-yard line.
There's a few papers up here, Bob, so they could have gotten.
Cameron Riviera wide to the right, Klein wide to the left. Up the middle it goes to Ray. Jackson Ray with ball carrier.
Jackson Ray, the ball carrier for the Bulldogs. Wyland McCollum on the tackle.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for Defiance. We're under a minute here in the 3rd quarter. We're down to 47 seconds. Cruz in the shotgun has a man to motion. He'll give the ball to Ray, and boy, the first person to hit him is on the bottom of that pile, and I don't know who that was, but we'll check it out on our replay that we have the advantage of seeing. But somebody smacked him. I think it was Mabry.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Good job by Trace Mabry.
That was the old-fashioned slobber knocker.
That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter with a score on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. It's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 28, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. We'll be back right after this.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
All righty, we welcome you back to Grand Lake Health Systems Field. Joe Hurlman alongside Jim Swigert for the final 12 minutes of the 2019 regular season as it winds down.
During the 2013-14 sports season.
Any update in scores, Jim?
Well, we're still 7-6 Walpolk over the Ottawa Glandorf Titans in the 4th quarter. We're still showing Kenton winning over Elida 35-0.
Ooh, almost a face mask.
11.
Nice pass from Cruz to Klein. It'll be more than enough for a 1st down. We'll see what the penalty is all about.
Flags are on the field.
Looks like this one's going to be called back. Procedure on the Defiance Bulldogs.
Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs. They don't call traveling anymore basketball, do
Nice pass from Cruz to Klein as he just ran across the field and got right in the vision of Klein, and he hit, or Cruz, and he put it right on the money. Unfortunately, it's called back because of an illegal procedure penalty. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 at the Defiance 27-yard line.
Three's coming this way.
Simeon Sweeney wide to the right for the Defiance Bulldogs. Also coming in as number 9, that's Cameron McDonald. Cruz runs into his fullback, and he is, oh man. And there he is, finally brought down by Blake Canor.
Rough Riders sack is by number 97, Blake Canor. Presents 4th down and 17.
That'll bring up 4th down and 17 for the Defiance Bulldogs, and that will bring in Jose Fernandez. Ty Howell and Dylan Troglin will be standing at their own 40-yard line to receive the punt from Fernandez.
Yeah, Cruz, the quarterback's been able to escape pressure tonight. That particular time he could not.
There's a snap. Fernandez kick. This one's going to spiral to it, right to Troglin. Good catch by Troglin. And he's unable to break a couple of tackles from the Defiance Bulldogs, and down there to make the tackle was number 58 by Zach Parrish.
Well, the Riders scored 0 points in that 3rd quarter. It'd be nice to see them get on a roll here and put 7 on the board here.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders. Ball at midfield. Riley Swigert brings the offensive line out, gets him set. But turn, he'll give the ball to Ty Howell. Sweep to the short side of the field. And nice tackle there by number 9 for the Defiance Bulldog. That's Cameron McDonald. But not before Ty Howell gained 3 yards on the play. So we'll call it 2nd down and 7.
50-50 time. Red ticket. Red ticket worth $1,880.
Defiance defense has been playing a little bit better defense on the sweeps this half.
Bupp pitched to Hinkle. He'll get it across the 45-yard line to about the 44 before he's brought down. Initial stop there by
The red ticket number 134909. Claim your winnings, take your ticket to the right.
Johnny, I think number 23 on the play for Defiance. That was Jaden Cepeda. Up the middle is Henchen. And again, good yardage for the young sophomore.
While you have your tickets out, if you have a blue ticket,
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rough Riders at the Defiance 35-yard line. 9:10 remaining here in the football contest. Bupp will turn. He's going to throw the football. He's got Howell right across the middle, and nice catch by Howell, and brought down immediately by number 40 for the the Defiance defense. That was Romeo Pearson, but
where's the flag?
they're going to pick it up.
No flag. No penalty on the play.
So it'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Rough Riders. We'll call that a 8-yard completion from Kurt Bupp to Ty Howell.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, that's a tough play for a quarterback running to his left and having pressure right in his face, and the senior Bupp squared his feet up, got his shoulder squared, was able to deliver a strike to Howell.
Here comes the counter back to Ethan Wedding. Wedding to the 20, breaking inside the 15, breaks a tackle inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line, so a good run by Wedding, breaking a couple of Defiance tackles, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Rough Riders at about the 5-yard line. So the Rough Riders knocking on the door.
Rough Riders 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
We'll call it the 6-yard line.
For
Another great effort by Ethan Wedding there to gain some extra yards.
Keep in mind, Ethan Wedding, just a junior. So he'll be wearing the blue and gold again next year. But he's going to throw the football over the middle. Touchdown to Kenore.
Great play.
Boy, he is just killing people. He's excited.
Oh my goodness, if you think he's bad at a sack, throwing the ball and let him run to the sideline after a touchdown, he takes out his own teammates.
Oh, man. Brandon Bowers for the point after the kick is up. The kick is good. That was pretty funny. Boy, Trey Fisher wanted to give him a high five, and he just kind of lowered his shoulder into him and knocked him right to the turf. But nonetheless, with 7:55 remaining here in the contest, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 35, the Defiance Bulldogs 6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. We'll take this break. We'll come right back right after this.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
This kickoff is being brought to you by your State Farm agent, Laura Yelton. Be a legend. Ensure your life. Number 99, I believe, is going to be doing the kicking, or 97. Spencer Troglin. 99. I was right. I have no number for him.
Make it happen.
Kickoff is taken up by Zach Parrish. Parrish will take the kickoff back to about the 29-yard line, where he is brought down by Brandon Paul, Ethan Wedding, Trey Fisher, and getting up off the bottom is Lucas Walder.
30-yard, 29-yard line.
Well, it's nice to see the Rider offense take that ball right down the field.
I think if my memory serves, well, the games that we've broadcast, I think that was Blake Kenore's first touchdown reception. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just the ones that we saw. Pass was intended for number 9 for Defiance, Cameron McDonald. It'll bring up second down and 10. Yeah, it looked like a miscommunication between McDonald and Cruz. McDonald turned to the inside. The pass went to the outside. Incomplete. Still 7-6. Wapak on top in the fourth quarter. That game being played up at OG. Cruz in the shotgun. Give the ball to Klein to the left side. He's run out of bounds. Clock will continue to run. No, there it was stopped. Clock will stop.
Another 3rd and long for Defiance.
Attention, Carter Verbright. Carter Verbright. Please head to the Rider Rooter booth near the concession stand. Carter Verbright.
It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Defiance Bulldogs. The football will be at the Defiance 32-yard line. It's got 2 receivers to the right. And it'll remain that way. Klein will go. Well, they're going to call timeout. They're confused.
Yeah, that's a few times this half they've had to call timeout.
Well, we'll just keep it right here. And I'll tell you what, it has to be frustrating, and Mark and I talked about it at halftime, is that, we had an opportunity. I mean, Ty Howell returned one to the end zone, but the block in the back called it back. It's frustrating for a coach because you're in week 10. Yeah. Those are mistakes that should not happen.
Yeah, you're right, especially getting the right personnel onto the field. That's happened a couple times even in this half where Defiance has had to call timeout.
If you would like to watch the rebroadcast of tonight's game, watch the highlights Please subscribe to Rider Nation
7 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the football contest. 35-7, or excuse me, 35-6. Rough Riders lead on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard. Good crowd here on hand on the St. Mary's side for the season finale. Cruz will roll to his right. He's got people in his face. He'll throw it back, and good defense there by the Rough Riders. Pass was caught by Klein, I believe. And on the tackle was Trace Mabry was in over there. Waylon McCollum was over there. And also Carson Fishbach.
Yeah, no doubt. The discipline of the Rider defense that time. Probably saw that play on film. Went over it this week, and the Rider defense paid attention. They were there to make the play.
Well, I was corrected. The catch was made by Tyrell Goings. So it'll bring up 4th down and 5 for Defiance. Now we'll see what happens. They shift out of the punt formation, and
9 to 20.
oh, nice pass. Nice pass from McDonald to Tyrell Goings. And they're going to get up 1st down. So a little trickery on behalf of the Defiance Bulldogs will give them a 1st down. The ball will be placed at the Defiance 48-yard line, 47-yard line.
Yeah,
no, we'll call it the 48.
Great effort by young man catching the ball, making that 1st down. Neat little play there. Like you said, trickery.
Cruz give the ball to Ray, and he's tripped up, and he'll pick up about 1 on the play.
It's probably a good thing he was tripped up in the line of scrimmage, because he had a lot of room to run.
We'll give him a gain of 2. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. The football is at the 50-yard line. Clock continues to run.
3 this way. 9's over there.
Dawson Hornish, the center for Defiance. Klein in motion to the left. Cruz straight back, needs help. Flushed out of the pocket by Hunter Foltz. He's still on the move, runs into his own player. Ball is loose, and Lucas Walter is on his way to the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. Lucas Walter, touchdown, Rough Riders. Good job by the Rough Rider defense putting pressure. Finally got to Cruz. The ball was loose and it jumped right up into the hands of Lucas Walter. And that is going to be a 40-yard return.
40-yard scoop and goal for Lucas Walter.
So the Rough Riders go on top 41-6 as the defense puts 6 on the board for the Rough Riders.
86 kicking.
Henry Spencer will on to try the point after. The kick is up. The kick is good. So with 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the 4th and final quarter on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard, it's the St. Mary's Rough Riders 42, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. We'll be back right after this.
Have you heard about TSC's referral program? Refer your friends and family and you both get a credit matching the services they chose. That's right, we'll credit your invoice. There's no limit to the number of friends you can refer. So come back to your local hometown provider and bring your friends and family with you. We'll reward you both.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Alrighty, back at Grand Lake Health System Field, Joe Hurlbert alongside Jim Swigert, where we've just been informed that right now, from here on out, the game will be played with a running clock. This kickoff is being brought to you by Laura Yelton, your State Farm agent. Be a legend, insure your life. Kellemeyer on the return. He's run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. The only time the clock will stop is on a change of possession.
Yeah, Lucas Walter, Joe, the third quarter, we talked about him having big eyes when a sure interception, pick six.
Yeah.
Looked like it was about to happen. I
Absolutely.
bet in his mind he thought, oh no, I'm never going to have a chance like that again. And here he is, a scoop and run for a touchdown.
Absolutely. So the running clock in effect. Pass is picked off.
20.
This is picked off by Ross Henchen, I believe. And so Ross Henchen will take the ball down to the 16, 17-yard line. I'm sorry, the 22-yard line.
22.
I got it, 22. Oh, 22 intercepted.
Interception by number 22.
Aiden Eigenbrod, I'm sorry. I said it was Ross Henchen. Then he went down to the 16. Then they're saying this to the 22. It was Eigenbrod on the interception, and he takes it to the Defiance 18-yard line where the Rough Riders will have it 1st and 10. Gavin Reinecke to Hemmelgarn, and Hemmelgarn is thrown for a loss.
Well, Joe, we have a final score.
We do.
In Ottawa. The Walpock Redskins, 7.
Wow.
OG Titans, 6.
Wow. Well, the OG Titans, what a season they had. And to lose at 7-6 at home. Riders are in a hurry. Gavin Reinecke, he'll turn. He'll hand it off to number 45.
Nice cut.
45 to the 5 and touchdown. And that is, I have no number. I have no number. I don't know who. I have no idea who that might be, but it was a nice run nonetheless.
A very nice run. Had a couple nice cuts there. Cut back to the middle to score the touchdown.
And that'll make the score of the Rough Riders.
23 yards by Corey Sullivan.
Corey Sullivan. Corey Sullivan.
Al Sullivan.
That's Braden Sullivan.
Braden Sullivan. Correction.
All right, let's get this straight. Braden Sullivan. 48-6 on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard with 3:54 remaining. We're going to take a break. We're going to sort this chaos out and come back for the final 3:54 right after this.
Guarneri's on Spring Street, home of the signature Big Ralph Sub, Pizza and Calzone. Come try our thirst-quenching Rider Aid before, during, and after the game. Stop in after the game and meet your friends. It's Guarneri's. Give them a call at 419-394-2244.
We're going to come back and do the point after touchdown. Apparently a timeout was called. Henry Spencer will attempt. High snap. Reinecke gets it down. The kick is up. The kick is no good. So it'll remain 48-6.
St. Mary's 48.
And we'll keep it right here. Absolutely. It's time now for our Big Ralph Rider replay. Brought to you by Guarneri's Pizzeria, home of the Big Ralph Sub and Pizza, along with Calzone. Stop into Guarneri's after the game to meet your friends. It's Guarneri's. Give them a call at 419-394-2244. And here's our Big Ralph Rider replay.
2:35 left in the ball game. Rick Haynes sets them down in the T formation. Kenton's bringing everybody but the sink. They run the counter. It is Clark. There he goes. Jason Clark. Jason Clark. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown. Rough Riders. Oh, my. They ran the counter, and Jason Clark takes it 75 yards.
Jason Clark. Well, what an offensive threat he was. This kickoff is brought to you by State Farm agent Lori Yelton. Be a legend. Insure your life.
6 at the 10.
Kellemeyer will get the ball, and he'll return it to the 25-yard line. So we'll see if Defiance will start inserting new players.
Kellemeyer
for the final 3:38 of this contest.
66.
Well, this fourth quarter has totally belonged to the Riders. A couple defensive plays, one for return fumble for touchdown, and then an interception deep in Defiance territory.
Final score, Walt Falconetta 7, LG 6.
So we've got a lot of new faces, a lot of new numbers on the field for both teams. Calvin Held is the ball carrier for the Defiance Bulldogs. In on the stop for the Rough Riders.
Walton Waller and Aiden Eganbrod in on the stop.
Eganbrod, one of the tacklers in, as well as number 1. That's Dylan Roby.
And initial contact by number 1, Dylan Roby.
Wow, maybe it was a 26.
Up the middle is the ball carrier for Defiance.
44.
Ball carrier's number 44. That is Juan Diaz.
Juan Diaz, the ball carrier.
So it'll be third down and short for the Defiance Bulldogs. Clock continues to run. 2:26 remaining in the ball game.
Great to see these young men at the end of the game get some time out there.
Brandon Headley's in on the defensive line. Let's see if we can get him to you. 56 is in the ball game for the Rough Riders. That's not Logan Allen. 28 the ball carrier for Defiance. Mitch Thompson, he'll get a first down. Clock continues to run. We're under 2 minutes.
Good enough gain to move the chains for Defiance.
Zeke Quijano's in the ball game for the Rough Riders. As I mentioned, number 95, Brandon Headley.
Well, Joe, I guess we can actually start looking forward to next week and start thinking about a little bit of who the Riders will be playing. I'm sure all the mathematicians
Have it
about
figured out.
midnight tonight
Yeah.
will have it all figured out.
Absolutely. Kyle Kogi in on the stop for the Rough Riders, along with a host of blue and gold players. So the St. Mary's Rough Riders will go 8-2 on the season, 7-2 in the Western Buckeye League. Defiance will drop to 2-8. Ball's loose on the field. He's being pressured by the Rough Rider defense. And then somebody, and they've got him down for a loss.
95.
Brandon Headley was the first player to him.
Drew Davis.
You know, Joe, you mentioned the Riders being 7-2 in the WBL. Think back just not that long ago when they were 0-2 in the WBL.
Oh, absolutely.
And
yeah.
not sure what the Riders had at that time. But here they are running off 7 straight wins, heading into the playoffs.
It'll be third down and 15 for Defiance. They're going to go for it.
11.
Good job by the Rough Rider defense. Number 69, Jacob Helsel, in on the tackle. And that's going to be it here from Grand Lake Health Systems Field as the St. Mary's Rough Riders win this one going away on the St. Mary's Foundry scoreboard by a score of 48-6.
St. Mary's 48.
So the St. Mary's Rough Riders
We'll now wait to see whether or not
end their season at 8-2 overall, 7-2 in the Western Buckeye League. Defiance drops to 2-8 overall and 2-7 in the Western Buckeye League. We're going to take this break. We're going to come back and we'll talk a little bit with Mark Sisko. We'll grab the stats and then we're going to get out of here and wait to hear where the Rough Riders will be headed next week. Sound like a deal?
Sounds like a deal, sir.
Even though the music on the patio has come to an end, Guarneri's would like to thank everyone for joining them on the patio on Friday nights. Though the music has ended, stop in and try their signature Big Ralph sub, pizza, or calzone. Guarneri's on Spring Street in St. Mary's. Give them a call at 419-394-2244.
Vogel's Bake Shop, making thousands of fresh donuts daily. Open 7 days a week with stores in St. Mary's, Salina, and Walpock.
Also now found in Wagner's IGA in New Bremen, Minster, and Fort Laramie.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, your job is made easy with Scott Ross Realty. Contact one of their hardworking, well-trained agents today at 419-305-4373 for all of your home buying and selling needs. Scott Ross Realty, wishing all Rough Rider sports good luck.
There you go.
So, Jim, the Rough Riders, in the second half, I don't know what Mark's doing, but he's going to sit down there for a little bit. But nonetheless, defense got an opportunity to score here in the second half as Lucas Walter picked up a fumble, taking it 41 yards. He also missed an opportunity. I think that if he had caught it, it would have been a pick six the other direction. But nonetheless, he dropped the football. I think his eyes just got real huge, and he wanted to run before he actually secured the football, put it on the ground. But nonetheless, he was able to put 6 on the board. So the Rough Riders got on the board, and the Rough Riders struggled in this ball game early and found themselves down early, 6-0, but was able to win this one going away.
Yeah, they came out, they had to punt their first series, and then I believe it was the second series, they turned the ball over. Defiance got the ball, and they ended up scoring on a nice pass from their quarterback, throwing it to the end zone, and the Riders found themselves down.
You can go down there.
7-0 or 6-0, but in the first play of the second quarter, the Riders scored and they steamrolled after that.
Well, right now the two teams are coming together at midfield, which is something that I really like to see, is these two teams come together. And of course, Steve Stroh, who is the regional director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is in the middle of that huddle and has probably made contact throughout the year with both of these players from both schools as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in that organization. So this is pretty awesome. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to have the halftime or the final game statistics with Jim right after this.
St. Marys Foundry is a global leader in manufacturing complex iron castings. Our skilled workforce takes pride in producing the highest quality iron castings, weighing up to 60,000 pounds. St. Marys Foundry wants to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all our local teams, wishing them a safe and extraordinary season. And speaking of great teams, St. Marys Foundry would like to thank its very own team of hardworking employees for their loyalty and dedication. If you're looking for rewarding challenges and first-string wages and benefits, check us out at stmfoundry.com or on hometownopportunities.com. St. Marys Foundry, where iron and ingenuity meet. If you're looking to renovate your home, former Rough Rider football standout Craig Hewer is your go-to man. Hewer Renovating is an all-phase residential specialist with over 40 years experience and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Improve your investment by giving Hewer Renovating a call at 419-394-8643.
Auglaze Equipment Rental is your source for all your equipment needs. Whether you're a contractor or a homeowner with a project, we can help get the job done more efficiently. Check us out at 1900 Salina Road or auglazeequipmentrental.com or just call 419-394-7883. Auglaze Equipment Rental. Varsity Lanes, home of the Rough Riders 2018-19 Boys and Girls State Bowling Champions. Striking up delicious food, 32 taps, Queen of Hearts, and nightly food and drink specials with a great family atmosphere. Carry out is available. Stop in and see us after the game. Go Riders! Unique Awards and Signs, here to take care of your signage, graphic award, and gift customization needs. From banners for your graduate or corporate sponsors to awards recognizing those dedicated employees or champion sport teams. Stop in at 1865 Salina Road or call us at 419-394-1612. Here to help make life go right is your local Good Neighbor State Farm agent, Laura Yelton, with 30 years experience. Visit Laura and her team located in downtown St. Marys for your auto, home, banking, and life insurance needs. Be a legend. Ensure your life.
Do you find yourself faced with injustice or confronted with a legal matter that you need help resolving? If so, call attorney David Walbacher at 216-225-9181. That's attorney David Walbacher for all your legal needs.
Well, Mark Huber decided to come on down and give us some final thoughts. What do you think?
It's a great win for the Riders. We're waiting to see what we do for next week. We're in. Whether we host or not, who knows yet. Last time I looked, Trotwood was behind. They're losing. So they win, definitely looks like they're going to, jump ahead of us. But they lose, we have a shot at it. So, but, overall, I thought the team, the second half came out, played well. 48 unanswered points. We were down. Started the second quarter, we were down 6-0.
That's right.
So the team is resilient. A lot of kids got in tonight. That's always a positive, and a lot of the defense just was fantastic.
Yeah.
Turnovers. Just a great team win.
Well, Lucas Walter, we saw in the, I think it was in the third quarter, had an opportunity at about the 45-yard line to take a pick six. I thought if he catches it, he's gone.
Yeah.
But he dropped the football, and he thought, there was his only opportunity. But later in this fourth quarter, he was able to pick one up at the 40-yard line and take it to the house. So Lucas Walter gets on the board. And here's the funniest thing of the night. Blake Walter catches a touchdown. Trey Fisher decides he wants to go over and kind of jump up and and Blake Knorr knocks him to the ground.
Yeah, I was concerned maybe Trey had some broken ribs or separated shoulder on that.
That was hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that might have been Blake's first touchdown reception all year.
I think it was.
Yeah, so he's pretty excited.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to give the big guy. He was a beast tonight. I mean,
he was.
Doug's constantly announcing his name for tackles and sacks, and that's been all season as well. But it was great to see, him to compliment Blake with a touchdown opportunity.
And again, Ross Henshin on the offensive side. I think at one point in time in the first half, he was averaging 30 yards a carry. He had 101 yards on 3 carries.
Wow.
That's pretty good. Then all of a sudden he had a 25-yarder, and that dropped his average down a little bit. But nonetheless, he's a spark plug.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about that at halftime. He'll be fun to see in years to come.
Absolutely, and then you probably heard the score. Walpock defeats OG.
Yep.
7-6. So here's what happens: the Wapakoneta Redskins and the Kenton Wildcats, co-champions of the Western Buckeye League for 2019.
Yeah, not what St. Mary's wanted. It wasn't the first goal, but you got to win the games, obviously, and you got to get things done. We didn't early, but we did as the season went on.
Absolutely.
And the nice thing is you got to continue your season.
And I said this earlier, and I'll continue to say it, that the complexion of the Riders and the chemistry started to change when Kurt Bupp stepped in at quarterback. Of course, he had a bad arm throughout the summer, wasn't able to throw as much as Doug Fry would have loved him to throw. But after the third, I think it was the second half of the OG game, they inserted him at quarterback. Things started to move, and from there, the chemistry just started to move forward with him at quarterback.
Things seemed to gel, and again, we talked about that leadership. It looked like that definitely he brought that poise, that moxie that the quarterback needs, and everybody responded from that.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, thanks again for joining us throughout the season. We appreciate it. Maybe we'll catch you down the road wherever we may be.
Absolutely.
Down the tournament trail. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll hear from our friends at Hewer Renovating. Jim will come back with the final statistics right after this.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a middle school and high school club looking to spread God's love throughout numerous schools and communities of our local area. FCA's favorite play of the game is both teams joining together in prayer at the conclusion of the game. God bless you, sports fans.
All right, Jim, what you got with final numbers?
Okay, Joe. For St. Mary's Rough Riders, they had 22 first downs to 7 for Defiance. Total yards, the Riders 423 total yards to 106 for the Defiance Bulldogs. Some individual stats. Senior quarterback Kurt Bupp threw the ball 8 times tonight, completed 7 for 122 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great game by the senior quarterback. In rushing, the Riders were led by rushing by Ross Henshin, who carried the ball 5 times for 110 yards. Longest run was 54 yards, and he did have 1 touchdown. Ty Howe had 9 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Ethan Wedding, 9 carries, 67 yards. And Adam Henkel, 13 rushes,
and 51 yards. So once again, the Riders dominated on the ground tonight. They had 301 yards rushing on 41 carries. And of course, through the air tonight, my memory serves me right, the best game for Kurt Bupp this season.
Absolutely.
Going 7 for 8, 122 yards. You know, Joe, that's going to be important come next week and getting into the playoffs, being able to just throw the defense off a little bit more, being able to pass the ball.
You know, I'll tell you a little bit about Kurt Bupp. You know, his yardage may not be up there with the league leaders as far as passing, but as far as I know, from the statistics that I've seen, he is number 1 in the Western Buckeye League in passing efficiency.
Yeah, and you know, you talked about him coming onto the scene for the Riders and the offense really gelling. One play stands out to me tonight. It wasn't a good play for the Riders. In fact, they were sacked for, I think it was 14, 15-yard loss. But a bad play could have been disastrous if he just threw the ball. Instead, he took the sack, and they came back and played another down. So I think that's great leadership and a great game. And a great game by the offensive line and all the offense and defense, just to get a tribute to the coaching staff of this team to start out 1-2 in the year, and here they are, 8-2. So.
Absolutely. Well, the Rough Riders win this one going away. As Mark said, he alluded to 48 unanswered points for the Rough Riders as they win it going away 48-6. That's going to conclude our Rider Nation broadcast of the Rough Riders as far as the regular season is concerned. Continue to join us throughout the tournament trail and the playoff trail as we will follow the Rough Riders as far as they go. And we'll have our regular programming as well, the rules of the game with Zach Farrell and Mark Sisko, and join me and Doug Fry on the Doug Fry Show. So once again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for bringing Rough Rider football to you on Rider Nation Station throughout the 2019 season. Jim, thanks a lot for joining me for a few ball games throughout the year. Zach Farrell will be joining me, I believe, next week, wherever we may be, and that will be named later. And it depends on what Trotwood Madison is doing. And Mark said that the last he heard, they were losing. But who knows what happens. But the Rough Riders will be ready nonetheless, and Rough Rider Nation will be ready as well to follow them along the tournament trail. We would like to thank all of our crew, wherever they may be, our camera crew. I heard Doug Spencer's wife is manning a camera tonight, so we want to give a special shout out and a thank you to her and everybody that's down in the truck. So once again, for our entire Rider Nation Station crew, Jim Swigert, I'm Joe Hurlbert. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast on Rider Nation Station. And once again, our final score, the St. Mary's Rough Riders 48, the Defiance Bulldogs 6. Until next week in the tournament trail, we'll see you then. So long, everyone.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.